Federal government unveils cabotage vessel financing fund application portal, eases indigenous ship ownership. Rivers State Chief Judge declines House of Assembly's request to probe Governor Fubara and deputy. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24, live from Abuja. I am your carrier, Clinton. We start off from Davos in Switzerland, where Nigeria has announced that it no longer views food security through a narrow agricultural lens, but as a fundamental macroeconomic security and governance issue. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this at a high-level panel on food security at the ongoing World Economic Forum in the country. He said the federal government no longer treats food security as a narrow agricultural concern, but as a strategic pillar for governance, economic stability, and regional cohesion, announcing that the Tinubu administration had begun a multi-dimensional agricultural drive designed to insulate the nation from global shocks while restoring the productivity of its food basket regions.
The government is making efforts for common food security corridors and community-based security engagement, allow people to go back and heal the soil. And there is a new program being conceived and executed by the government. And that has to do with Back to the Farm initiative, so that our displaced people can be supplied with inputs, with insurance, with capital, to go back for food production purposes. The third challenge, which we have a specific solution, is the issue of our import dependence and forex volatility, which has a direct impact on inflationary trends in the country. We largely import wheat, sugar, we import dairy products, and I believe efforts are being made to accelerate the production of most of these crops. And we are also using local substitutes like sorghum, like millet, cassava to flour, all in an effort to address all those imbalances.
Vice President Shettima expressed optimism that with the ongoing renewed hope agenda reforms, Nigeria will witness greater climate adaptation, moving from pilot to reality, as well as a boom in intra-African trade far beyond 10.7%. The federal government has unveiled the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund (CVFF) application portal, marking a historic step in Nigeria's long-awaited journey to operationalize structured financing for indigenous ship ownership. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, while unveiling the portal in Lagos, describes it as a deliberate and strategic step in repositioning Nigeria's maritime sector as a central pillar of national development. With qualified applicants having the opportunity to access up to $25 million each at competitive interest rates to acquire modern vessels that meet stringent international safety and performance standards, the minister, in a statement by his special advisor, Bolaji Akinyola, notes that the launch aligns with the broader national objective of diversifying the economy and unlocking the vast potential of Nigeria's maritime domain, coastal resources, and inland waterways. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has established a dedicated cabotage secretariat unit to drive implementation, manage applications, coordinate with financial institutions, and ensure strict adherence to eligibility, compliance, and risk management procedures. The Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, established under the Coastal and Inland Shipping Cabotage Act of 2003, was designed to address the financing gap faced by Nigerian ship owners. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has emphasized that the protection of citizens across religious and ethnic lines remains paramount, stressing that Nigeria is committed to ensuring freedom of belief and peaceful coexistence. He stated this at a high-level working group meeting between the Nigerian government and U.S. representatives.
The President has formally declared national security emergencies.
This is the third high-level engagement between Nigeria and U.S. government representatives since the Nigerian government's visit to the United States in November 2025. The talks underscore a shared commitment to tackling terrorism, insurgency, and other transnational security threats. The U.S. government is particularly concerned about the recent kidnapping of over 100 people in Kaduna State, calling for intensified efforts to end insurgency and violent crimes nationwide.
We call for the government to work with local authorities to find and secure the release of the innocent victims, and to work with NGOs to meet the victims' families' needs in the meantime. Advancing religious freedom and security will help the United States and Nigeria to enhance the reciprocal benefits of our relationship, solidifying trade and economic deals, degrading terrorist groups.
National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu stressed that Nigeria is redoubling efforts to dismantle terrorist networks, logistics hubs, and support structures used by criminal and extremist elements.
This protection of all citizens, Christians, Muslims, and those of other beliefs is non-negotiable. Violence framed along religious lines is treated as an attack on the Nigerian state itself. Our response, therefore, integrates security operations, rule of law, humanitarian safeguards, and strategic communication, ensuring that operational successes translate into public confidence.
The National Security Advisor says the recent partnership with the United States government has resulted in closer intelligence sharing, sustained military engagements, and strengthened joint operational planning.
Meanwhile, the federal government has formally declared a national security emergencies in vulnerable and high-risk areas, authorized intensified joint operations, and directed the sustained deployment of security forces to priority locations. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, stated this on the sidelines of the Nigerian-U.S. security engagement held at the Office of the National Security Advisor in Abuja. The minister says the recent bilateral engagements between the U.S. and Nigeria reflect not only Nigeria's shared commitment to religious freedom and civilian protection, but also a strategic relationship grounded in trust and shared responsibility.
Indeed, this cooperation has translated into very tangible operational gains. It has enhanced our intelligence sharing. It has also brought about closer coordination between the United States of America, AFRICOM, and Nigeria's military. We recognize the fact that the United States are our friends, and we have been cooperating with them over the years. And the Nigerian government will continue to work with them and other international partners. The aim is to ultimately see that terrorism and violent extremism is defeated and taken out of our soil.
We have the opportunity offered by the United States, our partner, to help us to deepen their partnership with us, to address the challenges and find a lasting solution to the problems and restore peace in the affected communities. And we are taking advantage of this offer to ensure that the vulnerable communities in Nigeria are well protected.
He also added that Nigeria is working to strengthen early warning and developing a national database to provide a single authoritative source of accurate and verifiable figures on casualties arising from violence, strengthening evidence-based decision-making, accountability, and effective security responses. Now, security experts and stakeholders have raised concerns over the handling of recent abductions in Kaduna State, linking initial denials by security agencies to gaps in intelligence gathering, interagency coordination, and under-policing of vulnerable communities. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria noted that the period of denial may have delayed the swift response, allowing criminal networks to regroup and complicate rescue efforts. Thomas Ogbetere reports.
The Nigerian police have confirmed the abduction of worshippers from 3 churches in Kumanwali community of Kaduna State. after an initial denial sparking concern over security, communication, and response. Guest on Good Morning Nigeria warned that the timing of the incident against a backdrop of international rhetorics and threats could fuel global misconception about the country. However, they emphasized that the attack was driven by criminality and insecurity rather than religious motives.
There is inadequacy as far as the issue of personnel is concerned. There is inadequacy as far as implements is concerned. There is also the need for mobility. When you don't have all these things in place, how can you have a proactive security machinery?
On curbing terrorism financing in Nigeria, guest emphasized the central role of banks and financial institutions in detecting suspicious transactions.
The possibility that someone facilitated or even encouraged such an attack is there to embarrass the government, as the case may be.
And don't forget that these things, it's not the first time it's happening in Kaduna State. So why are we always reactive instead of being proactive? Why are we not always able to counter these things before they happen?
Guests on the program stressed the need for stronger border control and regional cooperations to curb illicit financial flow that fund terrorism, while highlighting the role of porous borders and informal transfer systems. They also emphasized that arms proliferation should be addressed through intelligence-driven operations, community involvement, and supply chain monitoring. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
This is in News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. There'll be more reports after the break. Stay with us.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to...
The only tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use Arisco tomato paste and products.
100% natural tomato. Better food now, correct.
Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount.
Arisco tomato paste, taste of nature.
From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
This is NTA News 24.
Many thanks for being there. In a bold step at improving the living standard of men and officers of the division, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shuaibu, has inaugurated newly renovated accommodation for personnel at the 3 Division headquarters, Jos. The Yang and the Yaba Gyang reports.
The visit by the Chief of Army Staff to the division is part of his familiarization visit to Army formations across the country to assess ongoing operational activities.
We show this to the glory of God, the benefit of humanity.
Inaugurating the residential houses, the Army Chief said the move reflects commitment to providing a secure, comfortable, and dignified living environment to enable personnel focus fully on their professional responsibilities. The well-planned housing unit, equipped with essential utilities, the Army Chief says is vital in boosting their morale and enhancing a balanced family life.
I've been duly briefed by the General Officer Commanding 3 Division, and most of the challenges have been outlined. We have addressed the ones that are most pressing so that all enablers are given to you to ensure you do your job properly.
The Chief of Army Staff also commended the resilience and professionalism of personnel in the discharge of their duties, noting that their sacrifices remain critical to national security.
Well, the division is doing very well in trying to mitigate some of these emerging security threats within its own area of responsibility. It is not easy, and they're doing their very best, and I'm quite satisfied with what I've seen so far.
The Army Chief further appreciated the General Officer Commanding 3 Division, Major General Eyitayo Folusho Oyilola, for his effective leadership and commitment to operational excellence, urging him to sustain the momentum and continue to inspire officers and men under his command. In Jos, Indenyan, and Abagyang, NTA News.
And now to education matters. Secondary school girls under a technology talent hunt initiative of the Great Heights Academy in Abuja have unveiled 5 strategic physical and software projects creatively developed to address some of the country's critical challenges in line with the federal government's inclusion of digital literacy in the redesigned curriculum. Dr. Alabi tells us more.
This year's event provides a platform for students of Great Heights Academy in Abuja to showcase how classroom learning can be transformed into real-world solutions with the belief that every girl has the potential to innovate when given the right environment and guidance.
As a school, we're making conscious effort through curriculum design, partnerships, infrastructure, and hands-on learning to equip our students with the skills they need to thrive.
We didn't have water and electricity to charge our phones. I was just sitting down and I thought about it.
It can help the country in general. So we made this and we are proud of ourselves.
This is going to be able to solve a lot of problems in Nigeria.
A scenario that happened to my cousin that motivated us on the street spikes.
From traffic spikes to prevent reckless driving on the roads, to pesticide spraying robot to assist farmers in tackling pests, the waste to electricity and synthetic gas to address waste management and pollution, the Gyro Volt power station developed to address acute power shortage in rural areas, and of course, a firefighter robot to assist in reaching difficult areas during outbreaks. It was a display of creativity in a fast-changing technology-driven world.
It's like the fire incident in Lagos. The fire took for long and firefighters couldn't access the building.
We have flame sensors that sense flame. Once it detects the flame, the robot moves forward at a safe distance and the microcontroller activates the pump, making water spray.
This is an automated machine designed to detect, discharge and control pests by spraying insecticide on targeted areas.
It is an automated system that brings our spike from the floor, from the ground when traffic light is on red, and then when it is on green, the spikes retract back to the ground.
There are things that we're going to work in collaboration with the school to see that some of these things, there are things that FRAC is already working on, and we're going to work with them to see that it comes out good.
So it means it has a market already. So I will only urge them to improve upon it, to sharpen it, to smoothen it.
These girls the idea is very pure and nice. And then the pesticides, it's not something we all wake up to think of, but they thought about it.
As soon as they got the message, they are now the ones pushing us. They are now the ones asking for more. And we are happy that they are now interested in technology.
The firefighter robot team won the overall best project, followed by the waste to electricity and synthetic gas team, as consolation prizes went to all contestants.
Each project represents a problem identified, solution designed, skill acquired, and a dream taking shape, with technology and innovation becoming a bridge between talent and ambition. In Abuja, Tope Alabi, NTA News.
And now to legal matters. The first prosecution witness in the case of the alleged cyberbullying and cybercrimes instituted against Omoyele Sowore by the federal government at Thursday's sitting tendered video of the president's speech in Brazil and screenshot of the reaction of the defendant to the post. Austin Anyebe reports.
Led in evidence by the Prosecution Counsel Akin Loluke in the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the first prosecution witness called in the matter, a DSS personnel who work at the DSS Cyber Security Center by name Siri Nosike, narrated how he stumbled on a post by the defendant. He tendered the video which was played in court containing the speech of President Bola Tinubu in Brazil, where he spoke about the dividends of his government reforms and how corruption is being tackled. He equally tendered a copy of the screenshot post of the reaction to the president's speech in Brazil, where the defendant allegedly wrote that this criminal at official Abat went to Brazil to say there is no more corruption under his regime. What an audacity to lie shamelessly. The prosecution, through the witness, tendered other documents such as letters written to X and other platforms, as well as to the defendants to pull down the post, but instead the defendant posted the letter on his X handle. All the documents were admitted in evidence. The defendant, led by Abubakar Masha, when called upon to cross-examine the witness, sought for adjournment to enable them to prepare, but the prosecution counsel opposed the application on the ground that he front-loaded all the relevant documents before the Thursday sitting. But in the interest of justice and for defense counsel to consult ICT experts, the court adjourns to the 27th January 2026 for cross-examination of the first prosecution witness and continuation of hearing. From the Federal High Court, Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
Now, the Rivers Chief Judge, Justice Simeon Amadi, has declined House of Assembly's request to probe Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Deputy Professor Ngozi Odu. This is contained in a letter personally signed by him and addressed to the Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Amehule. The State Chief Judge in the letter acknowledged receipt of the House's resolution requesting him to set up a 7-man panel against Governor Siminalayi Fubara, but stated that he is restrained by a subsisting court order. He also cited an appeal by Speaker Martin Amehule, which has been lodged against the said interim order at the Court of Appeal, Port Harcourt Division, noting that he has been served with the notices. In view of the notice of appeal, the Rivers State Chief Judge in the letter stated that his hand is fettered as there are subsisting interim orders of injunction and appeal against the said orders. Hence, he is legally disabled from exercising his duty under Section 188, subsection 5 of the Constitution in the instant. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, uncovers 2 emerging financial crimes masterminded by foreign nationals, where more than 900,000 Nigerians have lost more than 18 billion naira. The commission urges citizens to be very careful with their personal identities in order to avoid being scammed by these Ponzi schemes. The report.
Ponzi schemes are not new to Nigerians, especially its havocs in the previous years. Well, from last year to this year, 2 new financial crimes have been defrauding citizens. One of the schemes is the airline discount, where syndicates lure their victims by offering them discount on airfare. The scheme has defrauded Nigerians of more than 651 million naira. With the intervention of the EFCC, more than 33 million naira has been recovered and returned to the victims. The second one is the Fred and Farid Investment Company Limited, where more than 200,000 Nigerians have been defrauded of more than 18 billion naira, which was wrecked through 9 companies offering diverse investment packages.
The most striking feature of all these cases is the compromise of our national financial space. A new generation bank and 6 fintechs and microfinance banks are involved in this.
They get all parents and people that are naive, and then they get their details prior to open accounts. They give them sometimes 1,500, 2,000 naira, and these people sell their identity to them, and they use that to open accounts. And
one of the things that we want to call on the central bank or regulatory agencies is that they should restrict individuals from having a certain number of accounts. If one person has 960 accounts, I mean, that enough is suspicious.
The Commission is urging regulatory agencies to bring financial institutions to compulsory compliance with regulations.
The National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPODEC, is to provide infrastructure for communities in Nasarawa State as part of interventions to improve lives in rural areas. Aliyu Tijani reports that the Managing Director of HYPODEC, Abubakar Siddiqui Alwa, was in Nasarawa State to interface with the state government and the benefiting communities.
Key areas of intervention by the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPODEC, in the state are water supply, education, and agriculture. HYPODEC targets construction of 26 motorized boreholes, blocks of classrooms, and support farm mechanization. Managing Director of HYPODEC informed Governor Abdullahi Sule that the commission will sustain interventions in the state.
We see immense opportunities for deeper collaboration with Nasarawa State Government in the areas of flood mitigation and environmental degradation affecting riverine communities, where government's intimate knowledge of local realities positions you as an indispensable partner in designing interventions that genuinely transform lives.
Governor Abdullahi Sule commends HYPODEC for its intervention, which have gone a long way in complementing efforts of the state government.
I commend you for the good work that you have continued to do. In such a short time, we have seen so many interventions that you have had in Nasarawa State, and now we are seeing more that are coming from what you introduced, especially with some of these water projects. You know, our power projects is one area where, again, you can actually go into inviting some partnerships, you know, because your agency has the power to do that.
The HYPODEC delegation also visit Abia of Lafia and the Andoma of Doma to interact with the benefiting communities. HYPODEC has continued to intervene in the state as one of its catchment states in areas of flood mitigation, among others. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I'm Ikaria Clinton.